3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Startup Podcast, everybody. In today's episode, we interview Lew Mr Blue. This can be our 4th episode. And Lew Mr Blue, he's a rapper. Most of you guys know him as a rapper. He's also an entrepreneur. He has a clothing brand. He's very, very self-independent. I've noticed that since he was young, man. He's from Oakland. I'll let him introduce himself after we get done here, but I just want you guys to hear from me a quick tip of the day before we get started on anything else. The quick tip I have for you today is always tell the truth and live with the truth. The truth will set you free, and you can't get mad at yourself for telling the truth. So that's a quick tip of the day. The truth will always set you free, and it's hard to cover a lie. It's hard to remember a lie, so tell the truth, guys. And that's a quick tip of the day. We're going to get into the show. I'm by myself today, just me and Lew Mr Blue. Mark couldn't make it today, so we'll see what we can do without him. But it should be a good episode. I hope you guys stick around for it. And let's get to it. Episode 4, Lew Mr Blue. Let's get it. Welcome back to the Startup Podcast. This is episode 4. Today's episode, we're going to interview Lew Mr Blue. My partner Mark couldn't be here today. He had an emergency, so he couldn't come for this interview, but I got it by myself. But yeah, this is Lew Mr Blue. I'm going to let him take it from here. He's going to introduce himself, and go ahead, Joe.
Yes, sir. I go by Joe for the family and friends that know me. Went to school with bro. He had me pulled up for the interview. Lew Mr Blue was my original artist name, and then I converted to Lewy Blue Strips. I always referred to myself as Lewy Blue Strips, but when I would do shows or when people tap in with me, they would get my name mixed up for some reason. Yeah. So I just simplified it and thought Lewy Blue Strips was just a more smoother run on that. But yeah, me, myself, and I'm just a little guy out the 510 and the 209, you feel me, gentrified. You know how to go. California expenses to live out here, but I grew up out here. Young West Coast guy, grew up around a musical family, family that's in the streets and family that's in corporate, family that's doing regular stuff. You know, so I get exposed to all aspects of life, I would say.
Okay, so you say your family's in music. Mm-hmm. Who in your family does music? Like, is it passed down generation, or is it?
Pretty much the generation before me, all my uncles and my cousins, my dad, everybody do music. Everybody rap, everybody do something behind the scenes, things like that.
Is that how you got started, or what got you started?
I grew up in that for sure.
Okay.
I grew up in a musical family. I grew up where my household was being used as the studio. My room was the studio.
Okay.
And they was having sessions, and I'm messing up their sessions. I got to stand in the corner, you feel me?
Yeah.
But everything they doing, I'm picking up without them paying attention. I'm paying attention to everything. So, yeah. I was just raised around and doing shows. Everything is like things I've been doing since a kid without knowing I'm going to do it when I get older.
I remember when you first came onto the scene, when you first started making music, and it was jumping. Like when you first started, I was like, okay. I didn't know you was into music like that, because I remember we had a conversation, and you were into you wanted to do videos and editing and stuff, and then you just jumped straight into like being a rapper, and that started taking off for you. So, what made you decide to do that instead of doing the videos and all that?
I mean, I just heard myself over the beat one day playing in the studio. Honestly, I was at my uncle's house recording. I was like right there by myself for a second. I'm like a to myself type of person, so I don't like to do too much around people and expose my hand.
Yeah.
So while nobody around, I'm practicing. Hear myself on the mic. I've been writing since like probably 2015, 2014. Because I first started rapping when I first came to Pittman. First week. You know, y'all had the Freestyle Fridays going on. So I was like, okay, let me see. First freestyle, I get roasted. So I'm like, okay, I'm going back home the next day. I'm going to write down 4 bars. And that's that video that I got up on the IG. I just found that on Facebook. I was like, that's crazy. I've been rapping longer than I thought.
Yeah.
So, well, maybe jump into it, though. Everybody was asking me, like, why don't you rap? At school, it's like your uncle rap, your cousins rapping. Why you not rapping? It's like, I don't care to rap. I thought I was going to be the background. I wanted to manage them because it's like, okay, they got the rapping. Okay, what can I do? I could be like a manager or promoter, getting booked for shows, getting booked for interviews, like things like that. I was thinking like that, be a producer. I just wanted to be in the background because I don't care about all the limelight being me. I don't want the fame. That just comes with the game though. So yeah, that's really how I got into it, being around my family and people just urging me and telling me and putting bugs in my ear like, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. And then I tried it, and then I just kept it going ever since. That first song I dropped was called Somebody, but the song that started creating the buzz was that Get Rich With Me.
Rich With Me, yeah, that's the one right there.
That remix to that Havana for sure.
So yeah, I just had it on my mind. It just slipped real quick when you brought up the Get Rich With Me. But since a young age, you said your family's in the music industry. You saw they were all rapping. Everybody's telling you why you're not rapping, and you saw there was opportunity to jump in as a manager. So where'd you get that mindset from?
I would say, I guess that's just who I am as a person, just like a reserved guy who want to make sure all business is taken care of across the board. I just learned and I witnessed a lot of things go wrong when you're not on top of your business. So I never wanted to be that person who suffered from that. So yeah, that's one of the main things for sure. And once again, I don't like all the flashy lights on me. I like to be in the background and cuss with family, chilling, living my life. I don't know. Spotlight ain't for everybody, you know.
Yeah, I feel that too because that's how I was at first too, and then
it's just being shy, coming out your shell. That's pretty much it. It's like you gotta embrace it, everything. You know, even doing shows, it's like I'm able to do the shows the way I do it because I've been doing shows with my uncle since a kid, basically just being a hype man, background dancer without them telling me to.
Yeah.
That's the energy I get, so I'm going put that back out.
I've been to a few of your shows. You get a crack at that.
Definitely. You was at the first one. You been here for the jump. You did my first videos, all that. You a big part of my history for sure.
I appreciate
That's
that.
That's why I had to pull up and chat with you for sure.
So how does the music industry work in terms of revenue stream? Like, okay, you make a song, you put it out on YouTube or Apple Music or whatever. How do you get paid from that? How does that work?
First thing you should do is make sure you and the producer, whoever made the beat to the song, got an agreement, and you should upload it through a distribution company. You can either do TuneCore is what I started out with. They got DistroKid now, United Masters, just a bunch of different distribution companies you can mess with, and you just upload your song through the TuneCore, DistroKid, United Masters. Put in all the details, your name, artist name, producers, all that. You just implement all that, and then you publish the song to all platforms. It's pretty basic. Once you start doing it, you just get on the website, create your account, and then start uploading music just like you do with YouTube or SoundCloud or something like that.
Okay.
And you probably usually have to pay like either a monthly fee or like a yearly subscription, anywhere from there for sure.
Okay. And then based on how many streams you get, that generates the income, or is it
yeah. It's all about your streams. Your streams generate royalties that could come directly to you, or if you got some hands, or if you got some hands in your mix, then it's you giving people cuts for what they do for you and things like that. For me right now, I'm just 100% all me. I mean, I got people on my side that help me promote and get shows and come up with new production styles and ideas and things like that, but as far as putting things together from scratch, it's pretty much me having the inspiration to look for an opportunity and jump on it.
How many albums have you put out, or is it mixtapes or
tapes? I've put out 1, 2, 3. I put out Bread and Butter, Lost Identity, Young Nigga in the Whip, Two Wrongs Make a Right, Ben Him EP. So that's 5 projects.
All right there. Which one's your favorite out of those?
My favorite is for sure Lost Identity.
Okay.
Because it's a solo project and it's a real description of a time period I went through in my life where I was on my own, like first time on my own for real. Grown, so you got to face the world. Yeah. That's what I was on. It's survival mode. That's what that tape all about.
Okay. I got to go back and listen to it.
Most definitely.
Got to go listen to it. So I know you're not all just music. You've been an entrepreneur since I've known you pretty much. Like you always find new ways to create income. Sure. Like, when I think of you, I'm just like, he's not working. He's finding other ways to make income on top of the work. So, what other streams of income do you have, and like, where'd you get that mindset from? Because I know you said it started at a young age, but like, not too many people think like that. So, what makes you different?
I would say growing up with all my older cousins and my uncles, I'm just around them pretty much. When I'm not around them, I'm just at home with my brothers and sisters. But I'm the oldest out of all my dad kids, so it's like I have something within me that makes me feel like I need to be up to par and be with the times and be of everybody around me, basically be able to qualify to be around people, you feel me, that's in a certain caliber. So I just was paying attention. I always paid attention as a kid. I've been observant. An observant little boy. I learned that from being around my grandpa real young. I spent a lot of time with him. We just like people watching, observe people, and talk about like actions and habits that people have. So I'm going kind of far off. What was the question again?
The question was, I said how you got your mindset, but also like what are the streams of income?
For sure. Okay, the mindset come basically from that. 15, I made a conscious decision to basically treat life like I don't got moms and pops, and I can't be basically a burden to them and depend on them forever, because they're not gonna be here forever. So
I respect that.
I need to make something happen for myself, and ever since then, I just been moving like that. Even like when I came into high school, I'm moving like I'm already in college, because it's like my mind is there. You feel me? I keep my mind straightforward, thinking ahead. So I'm trying to stay focused as possible. It's a lot of distractions out here. So yeah, I'm just blessed to have the awareness to be disciplined for sure, and to learn more about myself as time progresses for sure. And going back to the entrepreneurship, first thing I'll say is nothing wrong with the job at all. But before I ever worked a job, I was always hustling. I was taught to hustle. Like in the Bay, my dad from the Bay, my mom always been out here in the 209. So being back and forth out there. Anytime I move my dad, we hustling. We outside and we selling candy. We going door to door. We at the mall. We on the bar. Like literally everything, anything you could do to get some money that's legit, we was trying to do that for sure. So things like that just help shape who I am today. It's like everything that I do is like natural. Nothing was forced. It's just like things I've been doing since a kid. Even with art, I was really drawing before I was ever rapping. I was like drawing. I would draw faces and portraits of the people I know and of myself. So it's like I've been involved with arts from the beginning, and designing logos and cover arts and things like that was what I was doing before I was ever rapping. Yeah. So
I can see that in your work too.
Yeah. I was designing clothes and selling clothes at school. Skeetism been the movement from the get-go.
Explain that. We gotta explain that.
Skeetism, that come from my uncle Skeed, who passed away, and we just keeping his name alive and branding him. He was a positive, conscious individual, intellectual, who was always looking ahead. Basically, as I try to be myself, just stay conscious of myself, my decisions, and the path that I'm heading on for sure. So that comes from him passing away in 2012, trying to keep his name alive, and keep his energy here with us.
So you started a clothing brand, is that correct?
I started. I didn't start Skeetism. I've been a designer for Skeetism, but after I fell back with that, I started my own brand, which is HBNTC, which is an acronym or abbreviation for handle business and take care. Okay. That's just basically simple standards that I stand on for myself.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a storefront for that, or is it just?
I was involved with the pop-up shop in SF. Shout out Big Rich and Danielle. I seen the flyer on IG. Mm-hmm. That's really how I come across a lot of things. I be on IG and I see something that catch my attention and I go for it, So I submitted, I submitted an application to get into the store, and they accepted it. Okay. And then that was earlier this summer. Basically like they got a storefront in the mall, and they decided they wanted to give back to like the entrepreneurs who got their own brand and do like a pop-up shop. But it's an actual store with different vendors who own their own brand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a pretty creative way to do it too. Definitely. I ain't never been to one of those.
Man, it's a blessing to be a part of that, because I think it was like one of the first times something like that happened too. Mm-hmm. So it was for sure historical. A great jump from my career for sure.
So how was that? How was that store experience? Like, how was the revenue coming in? How was the people who came in? Like, was it good, or was it just good meeting people? You know what I mean?
Me, what I'm doing everything for is like every year I dedicate my year to one thing, and number one for me was networking. Yeah. So I'm in there just really trying to stay in front of everybody's face and let people feel my presence, letting alone just saying, hey, I rap, or hey, this is my brand. I just want you to see me for who I am before you ever even know I'm doing anything like that. So,
branding yourself.
For sure. And that was a great experience. That was a once in a lifetime experience for sure. And I had to bring my partner Paris along with me. Shout out P, Calculated Steps. My guy, gonna be the greatest fitness trainer out there. You feel me?
I gotta get him out here too.
Most definitely, you gonna have to holler at him. He doing his thing for sure. But yeah, we partnered up, got up in the store, tapped in with Big Rich. He said